Hey everybody, Adam Savage here. And earlier this year, I got to embed on the set of one of my favorite shows, Silo, during its second season production for Apple TV+. And in the coming weeks, Tested is going to take you behind the scenes. We're going to meet the artists, craftspeople, costumers, and prop makers and set builders, the folks building out the incredible world of Silo. Let's dive in. Johnny, Ivan, season 2 props.
I know.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm looking at this table and I'm wondering, if I can just reach out, what happens in season 2? Things get very hectic.
It's very, very different. You know, all of a sudden with this weapons, there's stunts.
Yeah.
There's big battles
There's
as
big
well. There's
battles.
riots.
Clearly.
It gets pretty violent.
Yeah.
Can you walk me through some of this?
So we've had to use different materials for a lot of it. We made real weapons and then molded them and cast them in different materials. Some of it is soft, and some of it is just lightweight.
Yeah, so
Wow, so it's like they took a wrench and just put a blade on it with a welder.
Exactly, yeah. But it all has to be quite basic stuff because that's all that's available to them in Silo 17.
again, yeah, piece of rebar, the
Rebar.
actually physically grounded down into a...
Got this meat cleaver.
Oh, this is great. I once got to tour a prison's confiscated weapons museum
Wow.
at San Quentin. And
God,
they had a working automatic machine gun that someone had made out of plumbing parts
Oh my gosh.
in the prison shop.
Wow.
And the police took it out and fired it and it worked. And everything in there looked like this.
Yeah, we should have got a bit more creative.
Well, no guns in the silo.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The amount of storytelling going on there is
Yeah.
just lovely.
And then with the shields as well, we have like a before
Yeah.
and after. This is before riot and this is after. It's aged a lot more, a lot heavier. This is a stunt shield, so that's made for the stunt guys
for getting
to
hit
fall
by
on.
stuff. So it's a hard rubber.
So yeah, it's a hard rubber, and then it's got a fiberglass back, so it retains a bit of integrity.
And this is a bit of iconography we haven't seen before.
Correct.
This is brand new.
Yeah.
So this is what the castings look like when they first come out?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So there's a few different types of materials in there.
Oh,
Some
yeah, I
of
can feel it.
is-
There's
yeah.
fiberglass, and this is like a softer
it's a real
rubber.
mix of everything. And then we had to make a bow and arrow as well.
What?
Yeah.
Back to Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
Now, a lot of what we do is trial and error, and
Yeah.
we get lots of mishaps. So we actually made 7 of these, around 3 of them broke, so we molded it and we got a bit of carbon fibre rod and made a fiberglass one and painted it up.
And so that's what this is?
Well, that's actually
Oh,
the
this-
original, so, so we're not going to do any tests on it just yet. But they were firing them on the day.
Yeah, it works for real.
Yeah, so
Really?
we had an archer
Brilliant.
come in and fire
Yeah.
real arrows.
I'm glad you had an archer instead of...
And again, rather than just hire a bow, we actually made it, and it was a particular size, a particular look, and the research into it
Yeah,
was quite depth, wasn't
like
it?
we could have bought one and modified it,
Yeah.
but we'd
Why
like the
would do that?
challenge. So
Yeah.
everyone likes the challenge.
And the drill, is that a real drill, or have you cast that and that's
Again, with
lightweight?
cast stats, if Ivan, you want to grab that, pass it over. We can't just have a drill that a Makita drill or anything you see in the real world. So we again designed and made our own drill.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Oh, I can't believe how... Jesus, this
Yeah.
is...
Does that turn on just now?
Just to help with effects, yeah.
This feels so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, even just from right here, even though this weighs only a couple of pounds, it looks exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good.
This is this as fun as it looks?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
especially with the weapons.
Yeah.
These are very few of what we've made. And it was like a team of 15 people. We gave each one a few references, and it let the modelers go really wide with their own design.
Turn them loose and see
yeah.
what happens. Yeah.
So you don't give them too much guidance, and then you end up with a lot of different variants of
exactly.
weather.
Yeah.
Is there like a central sort of weathering Bible that everyone has been referring to, or is it mostly institutional knowledge?
It's more institutional, I guess, now, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, like we take the weathering up to a certain point,
Yeah.
and then the painters take it from there.
Yeah.
And I think they have got their own grades that they abide by as to how, like, because everything in the silo looks really decrepit and run down. So there's various stages of decrepit basically that they're going
Especially with the 2 different silos now, which you'll soon realise.
Well, and I would imagine that you would start to look at regular, ordinary objects and imagine how you'd silo them up all the time.
I think that, I think there could definitely be a tuition, almost, I think, how you make something turn into silo.
Yes.
Have you come up with an industry term for siloing it?
I think that's it. Silo.
For some reason, a foam or rubber monkey wrench is always one of my favorite stunt props. They're just endlessly hilarious.
It never gets boring when someone picks it up and goes, what?
No, I know. I know. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the next table?
So
okay, cool. Because this stuff looks really cool.
Yeah, so Harriet are...
Hello. Okay, so tell me what all these beautiful goggles are.
Well, these are the underwater goggles that Juliet wears.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I forgot about the whole underwater.
They're functional.
They are?
They are functional. So initially it was just picking bits and trying to find different styles that worked, and definitely not machine stitching.
Right,
that
right.
went. And then it was hand stitching, and then created a pattern, and then these are just different, these are fake leathers, and then that's a real leather, and they went into an underwater tank for testing. But the real leather moved around too much. Yeah, please pick up plane.
And and so you have a real mask underneath here.
Yeah, so this floats completely on top. Initially, we were stitching through, but then that compromised it.
Yeah, fair.
When you make holes, they're not waterproof anymore.
So you couldn't use real leather because it got too soft?
It got too soft, moved too much. So then we started playing with different fake leathers like pleather and things.
Yeah.
And then ended up with this suede. Come around this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we used this suede.
Oh, and so this is the pattern.
This is the pattern.
And look at you guys.
There were two different patterns, and we laser cut them. And to make sure the stitching would always end up in the same place, we lasered the holes as well. Yeah.
I'm so blown away.
Even with the binding stitching, we did the same thing.
Because you had to have them match.
Yes, and they needed ones that would have to be shot going dry to wet many times.
Yeah. Oh, right. And once it's wet, you got to wait for it to dry.
Yeah, because
so
they look completely different. And you don't want to put heat on the suede because it will affect the finish. So this one didn't make it. This is the hero one.
This is the hero one.
This is the hero one.
I imagine it must have been absolutely thrilling the first time you saw Rebecca in the water, and it worked.
It just didn't feel real, which is nice because
after all the time spent.
Definitely, yeah, it was really cool, and it was fun making it. So the pattern that floats over. Oh yeah, I can show you on that one.
Oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I see. So here's the mask.
So here's the mask.
Yeah.
You take the straps off.
Mm-hmm.
They go inside
Oh,
here.
right.
And then they're Velcro, so everything. Look, and then this is just tacked together.
Oh, look, and you've machine stitched to help along.
Exactly, and then all this stitching on top is just decorative. And then it floats on top, so there's no stitching again through to the mask. And then I would glue it using this guy.
And then cut it out.
Yeah, and then I had like a special clamp, because when I started doing it, I was clamping it, and then the nose was getting crushed, which you need when you're regulating underwater.
Right. Yeah. Oh wow! So you've still maintained the actual functional, necessary parts of the mask being usable.
Yeah, I think she was filming for all day over weeks, so it's got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing, actually,
Yes.
to give a prop to someone that is also a piece of safety equipment.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Did you lose some sleep?
Yes.
And am I correct that this is her oxygen?
Yeah, so I think she has a separate mouthpiece,
No.
which then, and I think someone's responsible for pumping it.
Oh wait, I think I see this here.
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yes, that's that bit there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I think someone makes this for her, and that was also part of it, was to have someone within the silo who would be engineering it and making it up with what they've got and trying to make it as airtight as possible. But
And the assumption is that they were able to find
it's amazing what they find there.
Sure,
so
fair. Absolutely. God, that's super gorgeous, and I love that.
It's nice. There's lots of nice mix of like repurposed stuff and then things that we make from scratch.
Yeah.
So it's a good blend. Oh yeah, and then she had to have a torch on the side.
Oh right, and it's a practical torch.
Yes, it's a practical torch, and it goes on the side here.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, and you can make it dimmer.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Don't want to blind anyone underwater.
And so is this like iteration 1.0 of what that is iteration 2.0? Are these the advanced oxygen supply?
This is correct, yeah. So this was option one where we had to go down one floor. So it's a very short actual tube. And we actually, there's a thing called a bite to breathe. So we worked with Pinewood, with the scuba divers, and she had to use this for it as well. So we had to sleeve the world's smallest breathing regulator, which we had work fits in there. And so she was actually holding this and using it for real and working through underwater. Yeah, in a tank.
That sounds so thrilling.
Yeah, thrilling, also very scary.
Yes, no, I get that. I mean, scary for you, but it sounds thrilling for Rebecca.
And the idea of this, and this is, someone's outside the tank and literally pumping oxygen through into this, so.
And the end was practical.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then this was, so as you said, to a point where she's used a power washer and somehow turned it into a compressor for the breathing regulator, which is more, I think it was, this is hundreds of meters long. So again, which was a working regulator, which was mocked up to look like it was being made in the silo. And with the power washers, you see, we've had to make a complete soft version because of the foam effect,
So this is metal and this is...
Yeah, the whole thing, I know.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Again, lightweight stuff is always hilarious.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? It was that took a long time to get right.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, there's a lot of separate parts to that.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
But yeah, that was definitely, I would say, one of the props to the show is getting goggles and breathing apparatus to work for real, but that also look like they were made in the silo.
And so even this was also, all of this is practical, delivering
practical,
real oxygen to it, breathable air.
I had to go to a diving services, and together we worked out and Poseidon is a side breather, which is very unused. So again, that was the best option for her to use. And even with the clear tube, it was this particular tube that looks more like they would find within the silo. We did it, and I'm very proud to say it looked fantastic. Yeah. And thank you, and thanks to modelers. Yeah.
This is really thrilling. I just love the idea of the prop as a practical piece of actual safety equipment.
And we thought so many ideas how to not do it for real, but it was the only, because she was in the water for so long, it had to be at working goggles. But the goggles couldn't, they're supposed to look like welding goggles, hence the reason they're actual real period welding goggles.
Oh, right, I see.
So we ended up moulding the fronts of welding goggles and adapted them to these real goggles.
Amazing, that's brilliant.
But we went through many different,
there's so many other goggles that aren't on this table.
We had one that was the full face welded mask,
In the design process?
In the design process,
Wow.
But no, And
so is this one where art department comes to you to show them what the parameters of design?
Yeah, well, I guess we kind of designed this. Because,
that sounds like it.
Because we were given references. We looked into looking at what period goggles would have been when they first existed.
So art department gives you perhaps some parameters,
and
then you're supposed to figure out how to get those to work on the thing. That's really cool.
Yeah, and Juliet was actually very involved in this as well, Rex.
Yeah, she had a lot of feedback.
Anything that's her character, she has so much involvement as well. So
amazing.
And it's on her face as well.
Right,
And it blocks off so much of it when she's acting, so it needs to be right and make sense.
So is there like a close-up shot that made your heart sing when you saw all your stuff?
It was when we were in it for the first time, and she opens up the consumer unit, and it's just a close-up on her in the water. It was amazing, wasn't it? And I actually went to Harriet and said, Harriet, quick, you've got to see this footage now. And I'm like, wow, I'm so pleased it worked so well. But we covered all, we made how many goggles, what?
Oh, I don't know.
10, 15?
More.
We were just so worried about anything coming awry that we just made backup after backup after backup. And it was the right thing to do as well, because, little bits came off here or there, but we were always covered on day, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I had no idea that there was so much ambition in the stunt work for season 2.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to blow your mind.
Really?
Yeah, when I read the script for season 2, and it's like a completely different job. Yeah, the fact, but you've still got elements of season 1 in there.
Right.
But it opens up the whole world of what is not just one silo. Yeah, I'm very excited for it to come out. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you guys so much for walking me through this. It's really amazing. Thanks to Apple TV Plus for having us on set. Silo Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV Plus.